Today, we're going to dive into something pretty fascinating, a whole new economic model for the age of AI. It's being built by a community called Codatta, and their goal is to create a much fairer future for all the data that's fueling, well, everything. We're going to break down exactly how they plan to pull it off. So let's start with the big question, right? This is what everything else really hinges on. We all know AI is getting smarter, like crazy fast, but that intelligence is built on a mountain of data. The problem is, the way we get that data, it isn't always fair to the people actually creating and fact-checking it. So that brings us to the core challenge. AI has this unquenchable thirst for high-quality, verified information. This puts a ton of pressure on our current systems, and honestly, it's showing some major cracks in how we value knowledge and who gets paid for it. And this is really where the problem is. The whole process is often a total black box. You have domain experts, analysts, the very people whose knowledge is being turned into data, and they frequently see little to no money for their work. Codatta is basically saying this isn't just unfair, it's completely unsustainable if we want to build AI we can actually trust. Okay, so what's the fix? This brings us to Coda's really innovative solution. They call it the knowledge layer, and it's a total rethink of what data even is, and more importantly, who gets to own it. So what on earth is a knowledge layer? Think of it like this. It's a decentralized network that takes structured data, verified facts, expert analysis, and turns it into a unique digital asset that's permanently recorded on a blockchain. This means it's not just a file sitting on a server anymore. It becomes a verifiable asset, kind of like a deed to a piece of property, that can actually earn its creator money. Here's the step-by-step. A contributor, let's say an expert, submits a piece of knowledge. Then, the community network verifies it to make sure it's accurate. Once it's validated, it gets minted as a permanent digital asset. And here's the magic trick. Every single time an AI application uses that piece of knowledge, the original contributor earns a royalty. It's just like a musician getting a little bit of money every time their song gets played on the radio. But the tech is just one piece of the puzzle. Who are the actual people building this thing? This isn't just about code. It's about creating a whole new economy for contributors with real incentives that make them want to stick around and get rewarded for their expertise. And that's such a vital question because a decentralized system is only as strong as its community. It's not just one company. It's this diverse ecosystem of different people, each with their own really powerful reasons for getting involved. Now, check this out. This slide breaks down all the different players. You've got your domain experts, who can finally own and earn from their deep knowledge. Then you have data analysts, and this is where it gets really interesting. They're incentivized with new models like Train Now, Pay Later, or TNPL. This is a game changer. It means they can help train AI models now and get a share of the value that model creates in the future. It's kind of like getting stock options for your brain. And of course, you've got validators, keeping everything high quality, and partners building tools. Everybody has a real stake in making it work. Of course, in any open system where anyone can join, you absolutely need a way to measure quality. You have to reward the genuine, long-term contributors over just, short-term noise. And that's a huge challenge for any decentralized network. So this is the key question they had to figure out. If anybody can contribute, how do you make sure the best, most reliable information actually rises to the top? And how do you make sure the people behind that great work get recognized and rewarded for it? Their answer is pretty clever. It's called the Contributor Long-Term Success Index, or LTSI for short. It's a whole new scoring system designed specifically to find and reward that high-quality, long-term participation. So how is it calculated? Well, your score isn't just about how much you contribute. It's about how often your work is verified as correct, how much your data is actually used by AI apps down the line, whether your peers endorse your work, and if you're consistent over time. It's all about measuring your impact, not just your volume. And this slide really nails why a score like this is so powerful. On a practical level, it lets the system send the hard tasks to the proven experts. It makes sure rewards are distributed fairly, based on actual impact. But the bigger picture here? For the contributors, that LTSI score becomes like a dynamic, verifiable resume. It's a totally new way to build a career, proving your value with a track record that nobody can fake. But look, a system that's all about precisely measuring value has to be built on strong human values too. It needs a soul, right? And that brings us to the culture, the vibe of Codatta. Because this project is driven just as much by community energy and a shared vision as it is by any line of code. So picture this. It's the start of 2026. The whole community is reflecting on the past year, but looking forward with huge ambition. The conversations are all about building something that will last, all about that community energy, doing what they call a quiet build. And honestly, nothing captures that vision better than this quote. It actually came from a prompt someone in the community used for an AI art piece. It's so poetic, right? It's not technical. It speaks to this ultimate goal, seeing data not as just a raw material, but as part of a living universe where humans and AI can create something amazing together. And you can literally see this optimism in their weekly community poll. I mean, look at this. The vast majority of people are either excited or hopeful. That shows you there's a real sense of momentum and a deep collective belief in what they're all building together. So at the end of the day, Codatta is asking us to imagine a world where knowledge itself, the stuff in your head, is a financial asset that pays you royalties. If they pull this off, what does our world look like when anyone, anywhere can actually profit from what they know? It's a pretty powerful question, not just for the future of AI, but for all of us.